Bayonetta 3 was supposed to be one of Nintendo's biggest hits for this upcoming fall. This game was announced way back at the Game Awards in 2017. Now you fast forward to October 2022, and this game is just a few short weeks from being released. But unfortunately for the guys at Platinum Games, there's a lot of controversy, and people are actually talking about boycotting this game, not only because of frame rate issues, but because how they're treating their voice actors. Guys, I'm an indie YouTuber, I don't have that many subs, so every sub and like really helps the channel. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that old sub-a-rooney button, I'd really appreciate it. So in this video, guys, I'm going to talk about if I think you should be boycotting or not boycotting Bayonetta 3. Hey, if you're new to my channel, I talk a lot of things Nintendo here and a lot of things Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. But if you want to continue the conversation, I do have a Discord. The link is down in the description. I also have a Patreon, and for as low as $1, you get a shout out in one of my videos, and you get your name at the end of every single one of my videos. The development of Bayonetta 3 has been a pretty weird one for me personally. I mean, this game was first announced in 2017, and then we went like 4 years with any other announcement. So over that time, the hype just builds and builds and builds. Then last year, at one of the Nintendo Directs, we finally got a really juicy trailer. But around that time, it was also announced that the main voice actress, Hellena Taylor, who's played the main character of Bayonetta for over a decade, would not be returning. And at that time, it was said that she just had conflicts with work, her schedule was just different from what the game schedule was, and she just wouldn't be returning, and they separated, on pleasant terms. But fast forward to today, or really this weekend, Hellena came out and said this was not the truth. She said that Platinum Games lowballed her, offered her $4,000 to record the entire game. She tried to negotiate with them, and they said no. $4,000 is what we're going to pay you. Take it or leave it.
The final offer to do the whole game as a buyout, a flat rate, was $4,000 US.
This is cruel. This is savage. You're basically saying, hey, take this $4,000. If you don't take it, we don't need you. So Hellena did not take it, and they just recast her. So, I mean, I'm conflicted on this on multiple areas. First, we do live in a free will work economy where basically a company is allowed to offer you money, you can accept it if you want, and you don't have to accept it if you don't want. So, everybody had a decision to make. Clearly, Platinum Games did not value Helena's voice acting as much as, other voice actors would make in the industry. On the flip side, Bayonetta is a franchise that's made over $50 million of revenue over the last decade, and offering the main voice actress only $4,000 could really be a spit in the face. Hellena did say that she's gone to school for like 10 years voice acting. That's not like she just shows up, does the lines, and leaves, and that's worth $4,000. But this is years and years of practice. So I kind of see it from both sides. Also, the whole voice acting industry, from what I hear, pretty miserable one. These voice actors for video games make pennies on the dollar. They're not name brands. It's not like they're a big celebrity using their voice. They're just people like you and me that, love voice acting, and that's what they do for a living. So they are kind of replaceable because it's not like you even knew who Hellena Taylor was before this weekend. So from the company's perspective, maybe they want a nickel and dime. But at the same time, like, $4,000? Why not offer $30,000 or $50,000? It's all pennies, for these big, massive companies that are making millions and millions of dollars on these games. Like, it's really good for Hellena to walk away from that and say, hey, I know what I'm worth. I'm not going to take that money. See ya. And guess what? Right before the game comes out, I'm going to release a video and totally screw you guys over. And it really did. I mean, people are talking about boycotting Bayonetta 3 all over the place. Every YouTuber I know has an opinion on it. Some have already said they had pre-orders and they canceled them. But is it right to cancel your pre-order for, this game just because of this one issue? More recently, it seems like almost every video game industry or developer is having these little issues left and right, where as a gamer or consumer, you have to decide, do I want to support this company? I could just imagine if you're a huge die-hard Bayonetta fan, you played part 1 and 2, you bought the remakes or the whatever, the ports that came over the Switch, and you've been looking forward to Bayonetta 3 for years, and all of a sudden this controversy comes out. It'd be hard for me personally not to buy the game still. I know it kind of sucks on a people level, but you still want to play your game. Video games are an escape for a lot of us. They're like to forget about the real problems of the world and just enjoy some entertainment. For me personally, it's such a gray area. Like, I love companies that treat people correctly, and I know they lowballed Hellena here, but it's not like they sexually harassed her, which I shouldn't have even just said, but it's not like they really abused her. They made her an offer, she decided to turn it down. So it's not like they treated her that poorly. I think it's more of an issue with the whole industry in general. Voice actors should just get paid more generally, but if these companies think they can lowball the voice actors, and the voice actors accept a lot of the time, that's just an industry-wide problem and not just a Platinum Games problem. So in this issue, if I were a huge Bayonetta fan, and I'm a casual, I did play part 1 and 2 on the Switch years after they came out, I probably won't get Bayonetta Part 3 right away either, but I do not think I would boycott Bayonetta 3. If you gotta remember, this voice actor, they did do her dirty, but there's also probably hundreds of other people that worked on this game and put their blood, sweat, and tears into this game also, so it's really unfair to take it out on them, for, a few people, just not acting like they should. Another issue that I've heard people talk about Bayonetta 3 is the frame rate. Apparently this game chugs, and chugs pretty poorly. A lot of the people that have played the pre-screenings or had their hands on it before it officially released said this game chugs. That a lot of times you see frame drops, not only in the cutscenes, but when you're actually playing it. And it's funny because Platinum games are very twitchy. You need this game very precise. You need it locked in at 60 or locked in at 30. Any little frame rate could really just throw you off. And it's funny because their last game that came out, I think in 2019, Astral Chain, that was a buttery smooth game. So I'm really hoping they fix this or patch it quickly, because if it wasn't for the voice acting issue, now the frame rate on top of it, they're going to be losing a lot of business. And Bayonetta aren't huge sellers to begin with. Let's say Bayonetta 3 was projected to sell maybe 2 million. If they lose 200,000 sales because of, voice acting and, frame rate issues that people are hearing about, that's 10% of the revenue. And that could really even prevent them from making a future Bayonetta. So is the lowball offer to Hellena Taylor of only $4,000 enough for you to boycott this game and boycott really Platinum games in general? Is the frame rate issues really a problem for you? Are you guys going to boycott this game? Are you still picking it up? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Or if you have some other opinion, I'd just love to hear it. Interacting with you guys is probably my favorite part of making content. Guys, I am an indie YouTuber, like I said earlier. I do a lot of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom content on here, but I did want to cover Bayonetta, because I thought it was an interesting topic. But guys, definitely think about subscribing, liking, joining my Discord, maybe even Patreon, whatever you feel like doing these days, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, my name's Turbo Jesse. I'll see you on the flip side.